Okay peoples, welcome to the animal, or as we so lovingly know it, the palace. Going to show you inside. Me and Kim are just going to show you small so whoever buys it knows how everything works, seeing as we may be left by the time someone buys it. You know where everything is, you know how it works, and maybe any prospective buyers might be able to get a look around it and get an idea of it. Anyway, first we have the couch, which Kim is so well demonstrating how it works. So the couch folds out to be a double bed, obviously just folds across there, comes to roughly about here, still gives you room to put your toilet up the back. We'll show you the toilet in a minute. Now, when you fold the bed out,
there's 2 sleeping bags up there, 2 blankets, 2 pillows and an electric blanket.
And some tissues in case you get sniffles in the cold weather of the UK. Close the door because it's quite windy outside. I don't know whether you can hear me or not. Might turn the lights on, get a bit more light on the situation. Okay.
Okay. Down here's where we kept our luggage, but as you can see at the moment there's this Tupperware box that's filled with pots and pans, plates and a few beers for you.
Hang on, might turn the radio off. Okay, continue.
Esky, heater, clock radio with an iPod dock.
You can stick your iPod or iPhone straight on the top there, play your tunes right through it. Or you can actually, it's got a clock and alarm clock and everything on it. You can actually plug that cord there into, it's like a headphone cord, you can plug it into well, whatever you want. Laptop. We've been using it for watching movies through the laptop, but you're not getting our laptop. But BYO.
This is a fridge.
Looks like an Esky, but it's got a full cooler system on it. It's kept our food and everything cold for a month, so it's a great little unit. Runs off 12 volt or 240 volt, so off your car battery or off of power. It's currently running on the battery because we're not plugged in the power.
You plug this in when you're not connected to a campsite or a mate's place, and when you are, you unplug this.
Right,
fridge goes off.
That's killed the fridge. You see the fan stop in a moment.
And when you
come over to the power board
to a campsite or a mate's place, you plug this one in like that.
Easy peasy. You also got microwave, 240 volts, but you can run it off the inverter. I'll show you how that works in a moment.
When you're running it off the inverter, you'd better start the car.
Yeah, I'll show you how the inverter and that works in a sec. What else? Toaster. Plenty of power points throughout the place. A few more there. Couple more there. There's more round the back of that too, and I'll show you what they're for in a moment. Obviously your 240 volt kettle. This power point here goes back to the inverter. If you want to turn your 12 volt car battery into a 240 volt power supply, you flick this button, switches it on, lets you know that it's all going in that with LED lights on it. Plug your stuff into this power point. You can plug the power boards into the power point if you want to run more than one thing. Only suggestion is, if you're going to run anything that's a high current draw, is that you do start the car while you're using it. The house battery is linked back to the car battery for charging when the engine's running, and that'll ensure that you don't give yourself a flat battery. That'll run your toaster, your microwave. It won't run the kettle. However, I'm sure if I ask him real nicely, could you please show them the other kettle that you use? So we've got a cupboard full of tricks here.
So when you're not connected to a power supply, you use this kettle down here.
Right, so you got your little gas one there. Obviously you got your 2-burner stove. That just flicks up like so. We're even going to supply you with the lighter that we use for it, aren't we nice? There you go, little barbecue lighter thing. It's quite cool actually, a jet lighter one, I've never seen that before.
So you turn the gas on there.
Kim's showing you, you've got the gas bottle in the cupboard there. Flick the gas tap on. Make sure you don't leave it on after you're finished.
And when you've got the stove running, make sure you've got the doors open so you don't get carbon monoxide poisoning.
As we found out the hard way on our very first night, we actually, obviously we're not very well camping minded, but we weren't sure why we had headaches and felt sick until we read a notice, and we both read it. Kim in the female toilets, me in the male toilets. Looks like we had carbon monoxide poisoning because we've been running the stove all night. Coffee after coffee. With the doors closed. And enjoying the extra little bit of warmth, and Kim was being a total bitch, so we nearly got a divorce. Right. Anyway, so where were we? Okay, so that's a stove. Make sure you turn the gas off in that cupboard when you're finished. Lid just clips down. Okay, a couple extra seats in the back. It is registered as a 5-seater. It's got 3 in the front, 2 in the back. They do have seat belts at work. They're complied. You've got yourself a little table there, so it's a pretty cool thing. You can cruise about playing on your laptop, plugged into the inverter. You know, person in the back, I wouldn't recommend it while you're driving. If you like Kim, it would have fitted where it was, but for me, I sometimes have to slide it forward to get my belly inside it, but you know, that's going to come down to you. Now, you get random stuff with it too. I bought myself a little cordless because I've put all sorts of hooks and things up for the we had cups hanging up there. They're actually in my mate's house at the moment getting washed. You've got a nice little temperature gauge there. As you can see, it's quite chilly compared to what we're used to in Oz. Smoke alarm. You do have fluoro lights on the roof. I know this seems really simple, but I'm going to do it anyway. You turn it on and off with that button there. You've also, now the fluoro lights are actually a really good energy saver, but what's even better, these ones, which are LED lights inside this, same deal again. What else have we got? Loads of storage up the top. Probably not the best angle to see it from. Look, there's some toilet roll. No extra charge for that either. You've got the washing line across the back there. We just throw our towels on there when you can't get to a tumble dryer or that when we have a wash. Loads of storage. That storage there has, it's probably not as good on video, but that's took all of both Kim and I's clothes, a month's worth of clothes, and then some that we didn't even dig to the bottom to find. And it's got us through a month, so I don't know how long you'd plan on staying here, but I'm sure that'll get you out of trouble. Inside the little cupboard here, we have all sorts of tricks. First and foremost, what is it? It's a elegant toilet, apparently. Now, porta potty, real easy to use. I think you know what you're doing there, so I don't have to explain that bit. But basically afterwards, give it a couple of pumps, depending on how hard you pump it, or flush it away from whatever bit you need it to go. Lever on the front, pull that out, opens the hole, shut it again, and away it goes. To fill it with water, this is the flush water. It's pretty much full. We've just cleaned it out, topped it up, all that kind of thing. The base of it, it's a cassette toilet. The reason it's a cassette toilet is it's got a sealed unit on the bottom, and we'll show you how that works. Now, on the back here, there is, are you going to show them, Kim, or? On the back there's a lever, if I can get round behind this. Hang on. Right, and it lifts off the top. Stand back a bit. And you got the cassette on the bottom. Now, cassette on the bottom, take it to your mate's toilet and he probably won't thank you for it, but
undo here.
You undo this on the end, it's just a little screw cap.
Tip it.
Tip it up in a toilet or in a waste dumping point at a caravan site. They have them all over them. Once it starts flowing, you can hit the button, okay, and that opens up like an air release, and basically that will then obviously empty your toilet. When you're finished, you're supposed to put 3 litres of water in it and 120 ml of toilet blue. Now, I've already done that, hence why it's dripped on it. But basically, just fill it again through that hole. So that liquid in there is just your fresh water and the toilet blue. It is a chemical toilet. It neutralises the odour and whatnot else. that's the stuff there. I'll show you in a moment. We've actually got some in the back for you. Anyway, okay, so top goes back on, the front clips in, back locks down, it's all back to one piece, really easy to use. And you know the rest to do with that. Now, what else in the cupboard? You've got the 240 volt to 12 volt car battery charger that will charge both batteries simultaneously when they're linked. I'll show you how to link and unlink them in a moment. Currently, I've got the inverter switched on. Okay, now there is a clip there that you will find is wired back to this charger. Probably hard to see on the video, but that clip there, when you're plugged into a campsite or your mate's house or whatever, just clip that on with the other reds and that will charge both batteries off of the 240 volt supply.
When you leave the campsite?
When you leave the campsite, pull it off again. Okay, because potentially it could slowly drain your batteries if you leave that plugged on. Okay, now you've also got the inverter here. What the inverter does is it jacks up 12 volt up to 240 volt. So that will let you run all your appliances, your microwave, your toaster, all that kind of thing off of the car battery, even though they're household appliances. Now the way you do that is you come up to this other power point here, whatever you want to use you plug into that, or you can plug the whole lot of it into it, okay, but it will only handle so much at one time before it turns itself off. So you plug into that, turn your power on, right, and your little lights come on also on the inverter. If I turn that off up here, see the lights go off down there too, but it does have its own lights up on the switch that will let you know that it's going. Okay. Also, if you've got this one here turned off, it won't work because that cuts off the 240 behind that. So I just leave that on all the time because it won't make a difference when this is turned off. Okay, now that will run everything except the kettle. But we've already shown you you've got the gas kettle there, so you won't have any dramas as long as you open the windows and don't be stupid like we were on the first night. Other sorts of stuff, you've got a fire extinguisher. Hopefully you won't need it, we haven't, thank God. You've got mirrors, bloody pegs, clips. I'll show you what they're used for when we get to the shower. You actually shower, they call it al fresco. What else can I show you in here? That's about it. Oh, smoke alarm. If you're as good a cook as I am and you like to burn stuff, right, flip it open, disconnect the battery and it won't do your head in. Just make sure you reconnect it when you're done. Right, put it back in, throw the battery back in. Too bloody easy. Okay, go for a wander outside, turn this light off. Oh, actually I'll leave that on and I'll show you a switch in the front that can operate that too. Now, in the back, this is the best part of the whole van, by the way. You're listening to an Australian that was born in Scotland. Yeah, I've got keys here, hun. One key does all the locks in the whole van, including the ignition. And we do have 3 keys for you. Okay, so we open this up. Now, this is your plug-in point. The lead that it uses is a conventional caravan style. It's what you'll find at all the caravan parks. I'll show you the lead in a moment. We've still got it plugged in at my mate's house. Now, your water is pumped. That's your pump for the water. There's obviously your tap. Alright, it's adjustable flow and all that kind of thing. The wastewater comes down to this bottle here, that's your wastewater bottle. If you want to dump that, obviously you pull these bottles off the top here, just pop that out, too easy, take it away, pour it out. That one, same sort of deal, just pull the hose out the top, take it away, fill it up. You also have, this is your stuff that you put in the toilet, 120 mils of that, there's still plenty of that left. Okay. 120 mils along with 3 litres of fresh water. Something I forgot to mention inside, you do have blinds and curtains right the way around the whole van. so no problem with getting a bit of privacy while you're asleep or that. Obviously something else, got all your cutlery that you could ever need, random bits and bobs for like doing the place up or that. I bought them to do some of the things that you're looking at. You do have a shower, okay. To use the shower, it's an adjustable flow shower as well. You just adjust that to wherever you want it, depending on how strong you want it to go. I generally hang that up on the top of the door, okay, and when you're having a shower you've got both doors open, okay, and then you take these tarpaulins here, you spread them over around the doors, clip them on with these clips, and then basically you've got yourself a little shower cubicle out the back. What else? Box full of random bits and pieces, you'll find some fun stuff in there. There's also a 240-volt heater. Now that's if you plug it in somewhere but they don't have a shower. That's it there, okay. Okay, and that just plugs in your water supply too. Now with the shower head, you just basically connect it in here. If you want to have a hot shower, which is more likely the case, you take this hose out of here and bring it up into the sink and put some warm water in your sink. Now, what else can I show you in the back here? Oh, you've got a tow bar and that with it. You've got a first aid kit in that blue bag. I believe it's brand new. We haven't touched it. You've got a work light there, rechargeable. You have a jump start set of leads, should you ever run the batteries dead flat. What else? Yep. Okay. I might get you to jump in and pop the bonnet. Actually, I think I might. Just get her to pop the bonnet and I'll show you how the batteries are linked. Obviously linking the batteries allows you to charge the house battery while you're driving. Just throw the bonnet up. Not the prettiest engine bay, but it hasn't used any coolant in the whole month that we've been driving it, and it hasn't used any oil. And you can see that obviously neither ourselves or the bloke that we've bought it off of, thank you, have tried to detail it and hide anything. Right, there's a clip there on the battery. You take that off, the batteries are no longer linked. Good idea to do that when you're using just 12 volts, that way you know that you'll always be able to start your car in the morning. But when you go to drive again, good idea to connect them again, and that way you know that you're going to charge your house battery too. Okay, inside again. Just show you, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Obviously we've got a luggage limit of stuff that we can take with us. You've got all your pots and pans, a million bags there for rubbish, you know, your sponges and that for washing up. There are a heap of cups and plates and whatnot that we're in the middle of washing up, but they'll all come with it as well. All your sauces and stuff, it's all pretty new stuff.
Tea and coffee mostly. Tea
and coffee. We actually have a little coffee jug that lets you do your espresso coffees and some Unreal coffee. We'll leave that with you as well. There's other bits and pieces like spreads and stuff like that, cleaning products, dustpan and brush, you name it, it's here, everything you need. It'll easily keep you going for a month. It's got us going for a month. Obviously you have to bring food and that, but yeah, I believe that's it. Is that it?
I'm going to say, show you the light switch at the front that turns the back lights on.
Okay, good idea. Right, in the front. Okay, jumping in the driver's seat. Now I showed you the fire extinguisher before. There's another one down there too. Old mate who owned this before us must have thought it was going to catch on fire. It hasn't done us, hopefully it won't do for you. Now, got a GPS in here. If it's bought before we leave, we will leave you the GPS. If it's not, we're going to take it with us. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outputs for your cigarette lighter sockets. This one stays live all the time, but it has a button on the back, which is quite good, because if your phone's on charge or whatnot, you don't have to leave the keys in the ignition. Okay. You have a switch over here that will also operate. I'll let Kim flick that on and off. It will operate the lights in the back. So if you forget to turn the lights off and you jump in the front, you just flick that and away you go. CD player, radio and CD player both work well. If I can find the keys, one of the 3 sets. Where are we? Right, make sure it's not in gear. Goes first go every time, too easy. Okay, mileage, yep. We've marked it for sale with 140,000 miles on it. It actually, as you can see, only has 134. I may have misestimated how far I thought they were going to travel on this journey, because I was thinking more around kilometres, and to be honest I was working it off a guess. But anyway, a lot less miles than what we've advertised it with. What else can I tell you? Drives beautifully. Kim loves it, even though she's never driven a manual before in her life, and she can actually drive this, so that's, no offence Kim, but that's really saying something. But anyway, that was a pretend laugh, by the way, folks. What else can I show you? The outside of it, it's not beautiful, but, you know, it's got some surface rust. Any rust that was an issue, the guy that I bought it off of, he said that's been fixed for MOT. It was the stuff underneath, like any sort of chassis rust, which is normal here in the UK. As I say, it's a 2001 model. Other than the rust and that, it's in pretty good nick. I'll just shut this door over. We haven't washed it in the whole time we've been here, and it was desperately in need of a wash before we got here, never mind the state that it's in now. I haven't done all those miles. The tyres all round are excellent, as you can see for yourself. Okay, loads of treads, loads of miles left in them. Definitely in need of a wash, but other than that, it's been great. It's got us everywhere we want it to go, and we believe it'll get anyone else anywhere they want to go. Thanks for watching.